I feel like we're kind of privileged in this human design world because we live together. We live human design together. We're both projectors, we're both emotional, and we have a few things in common. Like, we are together literally 24/7, and our days look exactly the same, but still our lives are totally different. And this is something that is really helpful, I believe, to see from our perspective, because we get to live it. And I know that there's not many couples and many families who live human design in the same household. Now, there's something we've been talking about and something I've been asked about a couple of times recently, and that is when you do a foundational reading, or when you look at a chart on a surface, there's something that tends to be skipped or overlooked or just misunderstood. And that is left angle versus right angle. And for those who are not sure what I'm talking about, it's not about the variables, it's about the profile, the lines. So me as a 3-5, I am a right angle. And Johannes here is a 6-2, he's left angle. And there's this quote of Ra that we have been posting. We posted a couple of times. But I don't think people really get it. And that is that main difference between the right angle process and the left angle process, where Ra says to the left angles, it will never be about you.
Yes, exactly. Life will never be about the left angle itself. Well, I cannot speak for 5-1s, I'm a 6-2, but it has to do with that you clearly notice 3 phases in life, and the second phase, that aloofness, comes with a detachment. And for me, I personally feel like I have no purpose at all. No purpose in this life. If it was not for someone to tag along with, let's say, and in this case for me that is you, 3-5, and me assisting you in your process. Because until Saturn return, the 6 just tries to do what the rest does. And Ra refers to the 6 being a 3 before Saturn return, but it is not really like a 3, because I clearly see difference with a 3. You are a 3-5, my brother is a 3-5, and a 3 is just a born experimenter, and it is also joyfully experimenting, as in, like, I try things out and I see along the way how things go, and it has a certain kind of optimism to it. But for the 6, for me as a child, it was already so that I always thought, like, why do I have to do this? Like, is this now really that I have to follow the same track as the rest? So it has a certain kind of weight to it that was always there for the 6, and I don't think that the 3 really experiences this. But then after Saturn return, and now you and me together in this process, it makes it so that my, let's say, purpose, my trajectory is so to help the other in their process. Now, it is all dependent on your differentiation, and mine are in tribal 3740, so I see things through the lens of the family, and you are part of my family, so it makes it so that my angle is focused, I'm a left mind, focused on your track. So there we have a big difference between the left angles and the right angles, and the left angles just coming into human design or just coming into the process of the experiment, they think that they have something to do, where it is so that they have nothing to do. I also try to observe the 5s. The 5s have a different process, and also I see their dilemma with that unconscious 1 at their side is that they really need their own foundation. What they often do is, in human design, is they take a foundation of Ra or someone else, and they take it literal, and then they're going to universalize that as being their truth, but it is not the truth that they found.
Yeah, and I think also when Ra calls 6s the seekers, they often identify with that, and they're just like, oh yeah, well, I'm a seeker, so that's why I'm interested in this information, that information. It's just that, would you say that for a 6, it's not for self-development? So when you say a difference between a 3, the actual 3, and a 6 in the 3rd phase, is like, I discover things for myself. Like as somebody who has a lot of first lines, I study for myself, like primarily.
Yes, for the 6 before Saturn being a 3, it is just a sense of like, I have to do what the rest does, so I'll go for it and try it out.
Yeah, but most of it, would you say it just happens to you? It's not like you go looking for
Life happens to you. You are thrown into this life, in this incarnation as a 6, and as a kid you already wonder, and it's probably unconscious, but for me it was already a sense of like, I don't see a purpose here, what am I doing here? So then you get like steered into a direction by different people in your life. Why don't you try this out? Why are you not doing this? Or see me doing this, maybe you can do this too. So the 6 thinks like, yeah, I have no clue what to do, I'll do what you do.
Yeah.
But the 3 is there experimenting for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I went to college, and me coming from a tiny place, I went to college to a capital city, I consciously went into experiencing life in the fullest because I was so limited with experiences in a place where I come from originally. So when I went to college, I changed completely. I was just in it for the experience. I wanted to have no regrets. That was my entire philosophy, and it had nothing to do with other people who was with me. And funnily enough, my best friend at the time was also 6-2 projector, but they were just my supporters. They're supporting me on the way, and they're participating in my process. I'm not participating in their process.
Yeah, that can make all the sense.
Yeah, and I think the 6s, especially if you also have color 6 and tone 6, there is no desire here for you in general, right? But it's not about seeking your success. It's not about seeking achievements. It's not about looking for things. It's not about you making something out of your life.
No, I want to say the 6 is a bit like a leaf in the wind. That's just how it is. Like, life happens, and it's like how the wind blows, the 6 will tag along, and that's how the 6 has to embrace their selfness. Because it's not like I set out my purpose, I aim for that, I go for that, like a 3 would do. Also the 3 color, like desire, leading. No, the 6 is there to wait, and in my case 6 as a projector, is there to wait for that other to reach out to me. It's a transpersonal consciousness. So it is there meant to deal with the other, and it has to wait for that.
Yeah, and I think what is very interesting is what I said in the beginning, how we have entirely different experiences in the exact same place. And that is that you being on the roof now, you are way more aloof, you're way more passive, pessimistic, realistic maybe, where I have the exact same day as you, but my day is filled with excitement, filled with discovery, filled with new findings, new projects. And that is really a difference. And then I am, in a sense, leading the way, but I can't lead the way without your support. Because you know me, and I have 15 ideas per day, and then you're the one who's going to tell me, hey, let's not pursue this particular desire. I don't think that is good at the moment, right? So you are the one who's going to stop my desires, and that is due to our tones 5 and 6. But that's something that's really helpful in my process, and I think having a 6 in your life as somebody who's not a 6 is really amazing.
Yeah, but that is something for you to say. Like, I can imagine if you're a 4 who is not harmonizing to the 6, it can be very different to have a 6 in their life.
Yeah, maybe I said that wrong. I mean, like in like these harmonic profiles that we have, like 3 5s can really feel good when they have a 6-2 next to them, and that is because the 6s are those space holders. They're not here to judge our process, but they're here to assist it and hold space for us.
Yeah, I think it is so. It doesn't have its own value, as in, again, no purpose. So it is just there, and if it can assist, then that can give a sense of purpose to the 6.
Yeah, but it's like if I, with my personal destiny, become very successful, you benefit from it as well, right? But it's not, yeah, of course. But it's not that you need to be the one that is going to lead the way. You need to be this masculine role in our household and provide for me. Like, that is the difference with left and right. Then especially in the society as it is, where we have these gender roles defined, that can be very tricky for men who are 6'2s, who are 6 colors, 6 tones. So yeah,
I think they are burdened a lot. Like as a 6, you have no idea. So I think the 6'2s in life who try the homogenized way, the conditioned way, they are really like, how to say, I think they burn out very quickly.
Yeah, and I would dare to say that 6'2 men are probably, it's probably the most difficult for them to get on that roof phase.
Yeah, it's no thing to generalize because they all have their each unique differentiation. But I believe that a lot of 6s don't climb the roof because of fear. And it is also that fear for the collective way. And it can also be my personal differentiation again, but it is just, there is a certain kind of standard out there in the world, and a masculine man wants to live up to that expectation. Because it really is an expectation. It is not necessarily that it's coming out of themselves. So this 6 just doesn't feel at peace, doesn't feel whole in this world, and in all correctness, they should just let them be. And I think that for most 6s, this is a real dilemma, that it doesn't happen.
I think for most couples, that is very, very difficult to let one be, regardless of the gender, probably. But
but it's not just for couples. Let's say if you're an individual, you don't have a relationship, and you're a 6. Then it's still so, you have to make your own way.
Yeah, true. Then you have to go and make it for yourself, and that is exactly what you're not about.
You're not about, no.
Yeah.
So, you can say give into your selfness and your being slowly. Just seek the flow in your life to become aloof. And that is really key.
Yeah, I think... I think it's kind of a bit similar being a 6'2 to being right mind. It's where you have to be nurtured, you have to be cared for, and kind of just allowed to be aloof. Because you can't be aloof if nobody allows you, if everybody has expectations, if everybody needs you to do all kinds of things for them, things for yourself. But it's like when we can allow you to just be and not interfere with life and not interfere with your or anybody else's processes, then we can actually get the gifts that you are carrying.
Yeah, because if you look also at the tones, and you look at tone 3, outer vision on the design side, it just means setting out a pattern, setting out a track. And then we see its opposition 6, which can only mean just let them be. And it just needs to be alone, left to be with themselves, and then they can feel okay.